Hello, everybody. This is Josh Picklesheimer at Augusta University, and welcome to Season 1, Episode 4 of CavsCast, a podcast about athletics at Augusta Preparatory Day School in Augusta, Georgia. We're coming to you from the television, cinema, and audio lab at Augusta University. Today's CavsCast, we'll talk about Coach Sam Gruber, the Prep's varsity basketball coach. Also joining the podcast are head of school Derrick Willard and Director of Development Pam Weinberger. We'll start with Coach Gruber. Let's go back to last season for a minute. What made the 2021-2022 season stand out, and talk about the players who graduated who are major contributors.
Yeah, so last year I think when you think about that team, it's leadership. We had 5 seniors who gave it all every day. They were there, right? The most important thing to be is just there, right? When you're there, you can get stuff done, and the younger guys really learned from that. Mm-hmm. We had 3 Monigs in the program last year. The 2 that graduated, Will Monig and Ben Monig, standout performers for us. The 3 other seniors were contributors in their own way: Namai Sharma, Charles Cannell, and Ryan Javahari. Going to miss those guys greatly. Ultimately, it's their leadership that we're going to miss.
Mm. And who are the top returning players, and what are their strengths at playing the game?
Yeah, so another Monig coming back, Hank Monig. His strength is really athleticism, right? When you think about it, you can kind of you can combine a little bit of Will and Ben's game with Hank. Defensively, he gets after it like Will did, and offensively, I think he's going to shine like Ben did for us.
Definitely. And then what did the program do over the summer, and what have y'all been working on in the preseason practices?
Yeah, so the summertime is big for us for skill work, right? It's a time to keep a ball in your hand. I always tell them that, right? Basketball is something that you'll lose, right? It feels like you're dribbling a cube if you don't keep a ball in your hand for very long. So we do a ton of skill work, shooting, ball handling. Footwork is huge for us as well, build from the ground up. The preseason has been a challenge because we have so many players that play football, right? So we've had not our full roster yet. Really about half our roster is what we've had in total. And so we've worked even more on skill work and really just the basics. There's a ton of 9th graders, right, new players in our program this preseason. So we've really focused, again, on building foundations. But it's been a great opportunity for those young guys that otherwise wouldn't have had that, right? If they were older guys in the program, they're getting all the reps now.
Yeah, definitely.
Right, it's more of the looks than they would have, and I think that's going to be big for us in the future.
Yeah, definitely. You opened the season on November 29th, is that correct?
That is correct.
Okay, and who's the opponent, and where is the game, and what do you all want to see out of the team and on opening night for Augusta Prep?
Yeah, so it's Bullock Academy.
Okay.
It's at Prep on November 29th. That's the Tuesday following Thanksgiving week. We're looking to see some confidence, right? As a coach, you want to see your guys go out there, and we have so many guys that want to do right by their coaches, and that's good. But ultimately, it comes down to go make some plays, go play free. And it's hard as a coach to kind of get into yes, you want them to do what you're asking them to do, but at the same time, go be basketball players, right? And that's such a challenge early on. So that's what we really want to see is guys who are willing to make plays, and if they can do it in our system, even better.
Talk a little about your offensive scheme for a game. Are y'all pass heavy? Do y'all play unselfish basketball, or do y'all do you like to go out and run, or is it a very set defense half court or a set offense in the half court?
Sure, yeah. So I feel like every coach says they want to run, and it's true for the most part, right? We're not going to walk the ball up the floor. I always tell them that we got to find the line between the go and the whoa. And when I say the whoa, it means whoa, let's slow down. Let's get something that we want.
I like that.
When we do whoa, it's kind of a Princeton style, right? A lot of cuts, minimizing the dribbles, creating a lot of space, and getting stuff off our cuts and passing.
Gotcha. And then what's y'all's defensive scheme? Are y'all a man heavy, or do y'all like to sit in a zone the majority of the time?
Yeah, so it depends on the matchup. Early on in the season, I'm a big believer in man, because if you want to play a zone, you have to be sound in your man principles, because it all ends up about the same, right? You're seeing the ball, putting your butt to the baseline, seeing everything going on. And so early on, you'll see a lot of man. We have some teams on our schedule where I think zone is going to have to be something that we do, but I want to be sound in our man principles early on.
And what are the goals for this team? Obviously, I know you want to go far, but what are your goals as a coach?
Goals, I think that there's a difference between saying how many wins you want, because all the wins, right? Every game. And then kind of where you want to see your team end up. I want to see, kind of like I was saying earlier, I want to see a team that is willing to go make plays. and learning to make the plays through what we're trying to do instead of being so robotic about it, right? I want a team that's free. I don't want to get in their way of making plays, right? I want to kind of use what we're learning and then invites them and creates opportunities for them to go do it, right? So I want to see a group of players who know how to play the game of basketball in their own kind of way.
Yeah, it's basketball. You just got to go out there and play.
Exactly.
Besides Prep, who do you believe will be among the top teams in y'all's region?
So we have a smaller region. Actually, we're one of 3 teams in our region. It is us, it's Briarwood Academy, and it's Evan Burke Academy.
Okay. I've played them.
Briarwood is returning a couple all-region players.
Oh, wow.
Their big boy from last year, I believe he was a junior, and they had a very strong guard as well, a point guard for them. And then another kid that performed very well, really sound in his footwork and things like that, and gave us some trouble last year. So Briarwood's going to be tough.
Yeah, it's a bunch of country boys, so I've played. They're tough. Talk about your JV team and your 8th grade team as well.
Yeah, so the JV guys, like I was saying, they're getting a unique opportunity because we practice JV and varsity together. And right now, we're running virtually JV practices, right? There's a lot of 9th grade guys that are going to be JV for us. And so they're getting tons of reps, tons of experience that they wouldn't normally get. It's a very talented group. Very talented group. Where they're learning right now is that difference between the go and the woe, right? They're really learning that because they are go, go, go. And we'd rather that, right? It's easier to pull them back than it is to try to get them to go. And so I think you're going to see a lot of that go from them. But that's good, right? That's what we want. We can always pull them back.
Definitely.
Yeah.
And is there anything else you want to tell the viewers of this podcast before we move on to Mr. Willard?
Come support us. I think, winning the region last year and the boys seeing the environment that created, it's 2 ways, right? Like the performance of the team helps create that, but performance also comes from the community supporting, right? You feel it. It's a symbiotic relationship in a way, right? You're feeling it both ways. So come support us. Hopefully we'll put on a good show for you. But these guys are working hard.
Definitely. Yeah. Well, appreciate that.
Sure.
Good luck, Coach, with the season. Now we're going to turn to Mr. Derrick Willard, the head of school. Mr. Willard, tell us about the football team and which will be playing in the state playoffs this Friday night, right?
That's right. We're so proud of this team. We haven't had a home football playoff game. I don't know, maybe in about 4 years. And even though they're 5-5, they were like a play or a turnover or 2 away from being 7-2. They're fun to watch. The senior group it's 6 or 7 guys, and half of them are being heavily recruited by colleges. 2 of them, Tyon Waiters, the quarterback, and Bryson Cronin, affectionately known as Pig, by his family and everyone else. Both of those guys were like CSRA Players of the Week, and Bryson just had a WJBF Scholar Athlete Award on TV the other night. So it's an interesting group of talents, and I think they really enjoy playing with each other. So it's fun to watch, and we hope, just like Sam was saying, we want people to come see a good show and feed off a crowd, and watch that symbiotic relationship build. So,
do you know who the opponent is and like where y'all can get tickets to play to go watch this game?
Yeah, so it's Gatewood, who we lost a nail biter to earlier in the season, and we do all our ticketing stuff online for the most part. So it's through our website under athletics.
Okay. This is both for Mr. Willard and Ms. Weinberger. Can y'all talk about fundraising efforts this academic year as well as the goals for the Prep Booster Club?
Yeah, sure. Pam, do you want to just talk about the role of philanthropy in general at Prep?
Yes, so we have the biggest fundraiser that is the most important one for the school is our annual fund, and every year we ask every faculty member, every board member to give to that fund. Every year we get 100% participation from our faculty as well as our board members. This year we would love to get 100% participation from our parents. And the big day we have on November 29th, just like the beginning of basketball season, we also have our Giving Tuesday, which is our biggest fundraiser where we try to compete against Westminster, and we want to win on participation as well as dollar amount. So hopefully the night of the basketball game we'll have a lot to celebrate that night.
Definitely. Do you have anything to add, Mr. Willard, on that?
It's a fun rivalry. I mean, that's traditionally been our biggest rivalry, and there's usually a little side bet between the two heads of school. And I think this year it may be, like we're handing over the trophy and you got to wear the other guy's, brand or something.
Darn.
So I think if we win, we'll go. They'll have to do that at our place because they beat us last year. Credit to them. And if it's the other way, I'll have to go there and do the trophy presentation. So, but it's a lot of fun. It's a national day of giving for nonprofits, and we just really encourage all our supporters to do it that particular day.
So is what you're talking about Rivalry Tuesday? Is that what y'all are talking about? Or if that is, could y'all maybe expand more on that?
Yes, we use Giving Tuesday as a rivalry.
Gotcha.
There's not necessarily a game, right? But we use that as a competitive moment between the two schools, and it's a win-win. We're each encouraging our communities to give back to support us. Yeah.
Definitely.
And it's a great day on campus. We have a dunk tank, and the heads of school and the dunk tank.
Well, you're not in it.
Yeah, I'm smart.
I've been in one. It's not fun.
But you have to realize it's the day, the Tuesday after Thanksgiving, so it's been in the 40s before, and they're getting dunked in this dunk tank and wearing, wetsuits and freezing, and the kids love it. The students, they buy raffle tickets to be able to participate, and it's just a fun day on campus.
I bet. I went to a private school, so I know what all that's about. Will you also tell us about the upper school drama team and what the upper school drama team did in the regional and state competitions?
Yeah, sure. Our talented director, Jamie McAteer, I think was in the last episode before the competition, but we hosted the regional one-act competition, and our kids won that. And then they went on a week later to become state champs. So we're extremely proud of them, bringing home some hardware, and it's just an amazing program. And I want to add this, since you mentioned Booster earlier. We have a wonderful Booster Club that also supports the school. And what's great is people traditionally think of that as like an athletic booster club, but they support the athletics and the arts. So, our state championship win is backed, by the same folks who are also giving to back Sam's basketball team and, the football team. So it's really neat.
Yeah, that's really awesome. I also wanted to tell the audience that Hayes Trapp won the state championship in boys cross country, and his sister Annie Trapp did likewise on the girls' side. Hayes, of course, is headed to William and Mary and will run there. Congratulations to the Cavaliers and cross country program for another outstanding season. What else do y'all want to tell us about the prep fall sports and now winter sports? Any parting shots?
Sam?
Being down in the athletics building daily, 6 days a week now for the last 4 weeks with these boys, just my boys in particular, but the other programs, there's a lot of hard work going on down there. A lot of hours spent, not just by the coaches, right? The players are there too, right? And they're working, and they're the ones that are sweating and are bleeding and all that through it. So if you get a chance, come support them. I know they'd really appreciate it. It's good to have that feeling like your hard work is paying off and you feel supported, right? So if you do have that opportunity, come support those kids.
Pam?
I hope everybody comes to support the annual fund.
Give on Giving Tuesday.
Give on Giving Tuesday. And, the money is just so important to our school. It helps with arts, athletics, academics. It's everything that we are about is what that money goes towards. So.
Well, and I just want to top all that off with, I think Prep's such a special place. We've got a 61-year tradition of academic excellence, but we really think of ourselves as a triple threat school. We're talking about arts, academics, and athletics, and it's the support of the crowds and the support of Booster and support of everybody's funds that help make it a special place for these kids, because arts and athletics are important outlets for them, and it's not just about the books.
Well, that's awesome. That's honestly awesome. Thank you, Coach Gruber, Mr. Willard, and Ms. Weinberger for being on the Cavs podcast today. We wish you the best of luck going forward.
Thank you, Josh.
Thank you.
Well, that's the Cavs podcast for today. Thank you all for listening. CavsCast is a production of Augusta Prep Athletics and the Department of Communication at Augusta University. The producer is Ethan Balducci, and I'm Josh Picklesheimer, your host. Also, thanks to the Prep Athletic Department Director, Rory Bradley, for their support of the podcast. Stay tuned for our next podcast in 2 weeks. You can find us on YouTube and social media. Have a great day, and listen again soon.